5:32 p.m. Today, I believe it's May the 8th, is it?
Yes.
May 8th. This is our regularly scheduled North Miami CRA meeting. We will now proceed with roll call.
Board Member Galvin,
Here.
Board Member Keys, Board Member Desume, Board Member Bieneme, Chairman Joseph.
Here.
Chairman, you have a quorum.
Thank you very much. Let's stand up for Pledge of Allegiance. You want to lead us?
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Approval of minutes, our last minutes of April 10, 2018. Need a motion?
So moved. Second.
I have a motion made by Board Member Desume to approve the minutes from April 10th. That motion was seconded by Board Member Galvin. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Item passes 3-0.
The first item is Director or Ms.
Yes. Thank
Huh?
you. Director, thank you.
Ribeiro and
International.
International Investment.
Good afternoon, everyone. Rasha Camo, CRA Director. Please find attached in your package a rehabilitation grant request from Ribeiro International Investments to LLC located at 12355 Northeast 13th Avenue. They own a huge property along the train tracks. They have, they lease it to tenants. It's about 27,000 square feet. They have about 22 tenants already in there. They are renting it out to, it used to be originally tile and industrial, more manufacturers, and they've been, since they acquired it, they've been changing it to meet the arts and entertainment and the craft beer feel that we've been trying to bring to that area. The Scarga Brewery, one of our grantees, is one of their tenants. The Scarga Brewery is occupying 3 of their bays. Their grant request is to do exterior and interior paint, some electrical upgrades, the parking lot repavement, and several ADA bathroom improvements in the common areas of the building itself. They provided 3 bids. The lowest bidded amount was $199,404. There are no violations on the property, and as per our guidelines, they are eligible for 50% of the total cost of the project up to $100,000. Staff recommends approval of the $99,702 grant request, and I'd like to bring your attention to, if you can see the pictures, it's that orange building that you see right off the train tracks when you're driving up, and the look and feel that they're trying to bring is very interesting. It's very modern, and they're naming the building, they're changing the name to the North Miami Arts and Entertainment District as well. Staff makes this recommendation for you to review. Thank you. And I'm sorry, the property owner is here, Mr. Felipe Ribeiro. He flew in for Brazil for last night's meeting and today's meeting, and his other partners are here as well. They live here. The property is managed by a gentleman named Douglas Barbosa. He's there and takes care of the day-to-day management, the tenants, and so on and so forth, and we've been working with him. But since he's the owner, he wanted to fly in case you have any questions.
Okay. Is that, that's not almost across from Spatmaster, is it?
No, it's further in, 123rd and 13th Avenue, so it's a little bit further in,
And, okay, further south,
closer to the train tracks and further
Okay.
in.
behind the storage?
It's next door to the storage building.
Next door to the storage?
South
Okay,
of this- Adjacent and south.
okay.
Looking building.
Mm.
Here. Yeah, you see the train tracks are right there.
Yeah, okay, right across.
Do you have any questions or?
Does the owner have anything to add? No? Okay, we're in a motion.
Can I make a comment? I'm sorry. I own the property directly across the street, so I just want to disclose that. No conflict or anything.
Motion to approve?
So moved.
Second?
I have a motion made by Board Member Galvin to approve agenda item number 1. That motion was seconded by Chairman Joseph. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Item passes 4-0.
Thank you.
Liberty Gardens?
Yes, second item is part of our capital projects that the CRA had in our proposed budget. This project, I think, I don't know if you guys remember, but we've been working on it through the DAPAC. The CDPD department had received a CDBG grant to work on the beautification aspect of it. And after a few months of deliberations on the DAPAC board, one of our staff people, Mr. Kent Walia, actually is the one that came up with the better design. And we used that to acquire the architect and the contractor to beautify and enhance that area. So for the presentation, you have Mr. Kent Walia from the Office of CP&D and Marsh Kriplin and Alyssa Kriplin from MacWork. They are the subcontractors to Corradino who are doing the full design to present the layout.
Good evening, Mr. Chair, board members, and staff. The following item that's being presented to you today is the renovations to the Liberty Gardens Park. To provide a brief history of the Liberty Gardens Park, the park is located here in the downtown. It's been a city-owned park for a couple decades now, and it's located on 715 Northeast 125th Street. Over the years, it has experienced graffiti, wear and tear, unkept landscaping, dim lighting. Some of the lighting has gone out. So with all these needs, back in 2014, Mayor and Council identified this project, in addition to many others in the downtown, as part of the Downtown Action and Concept Plan, as a capital improvement project that can revitalize the downtown. So it's a part of that plan that was approved by Council. So that plan highlighted some renovation ideas and concepts, and this concept is being brought to you today as fruition of that concept. So I will turn it over to MacWork to further explain the proposed design.
Good evening, Alyssa Kriplin with MacWork. Let me make sure I'm put that forward, back, through. I can't see. Yep. All right. So this poor little park is mid-block and very narrow, and in its current state, it's located right in between a couple of buildings, one of which is 45 feet tall, the other is about 25 feet tall. So it's a little narrow slice. But it starts to reinforce one of the master plan concepts, which was to connect 125th with parking areas in the back, so that we can really increase the density and the intensity and how busy it is and the action on the street on 125th. So the current park, however, has a very highly designed gateway and columns on the facing 125th. Unfortunately, it really limits your view through the park, and I can totally understand if people actually miss that it's even there, because it is quite a narrow opening. There is a bus shelter or a bus stop right outside, so there's an opportunity for people with this park to actually really use it while they're waiting for the bus. And so that's the current park. You'll see the big columns continue all the way through the park area. They're about 2 feet by 2 feet each, and they occur on both sides of the park. And then it connects in the back to a city parking area. There are a few existing mature trees that we're proposing to keep, so that immediately the park will have some large plant material. This is the existing, so you'll see all those dark squares are the existing columns, which we're proposing to remove, which should really open up the space. We're also proposing to remove the existing paving. It's a combination of unit pavers and concrete, neither of which are draining correctly. There's been some subsiding in the subgrade, and so they're not draining to the drain, so we end up with a lot of ponding. So the proposed design aims to open it out to 125th. And give it some identity. So there's a sign right at the very entrance, which is proposing to be some big letters saying Liberty Gardens Park. And then the path itself allows for a straight shot through the park, which gives good visibility all the way through, so that people know that there's a parking area in the back, and for safety and security reasons. But then the curved benches and these little side slung paved areas provide more sheltered, quiet areas for sitting. So someone might go and have lunch there and sit in the shade. So it provides kind of both a walkway and then also a seating area at the same time. We're proposing to use the same trash cans as everywhere else in the city for maintenance reasons. And then on the east wall, which is on the bottom of the page here, is proposed a mural. It's currently a very large blank wall, but it provides an awesome opportunity to treat it as a gallery space. And then the concrete paving is proposed to be salt finish, which is ADA compliant, but gives it a natural look of Keystone on a far better budget. The main features of the park, however, are these bougainvillea trellis structures, which are also supposed to enhance the connectivity to the arts district. And then on the west wall is proposed what's called green screen, which is a framework that allows plants to grow all the way up the wall. Oh, and we're proposing bougainvillea in the trellises and then a Rangoon creeper on the wall, so the whole place will be a riot of colour when they're flowering. The existing native jatropha's would remain, and we're actually proposing to add some more of that same, it's a kind of a mid-level tree, but quite transparent. So again, you can kind of see through them if someone's walking through, or if you're sitting, it's still got good visibility all the way through. And then the other images are there of the existing palms, which would remain. And then the understory, the whole thing is proposed to be ground cover, no lawn for maintenance and so on. And the majority of the plants would be the Fakahatchee grass and the purple love grass, which gives a nice soft flowy effect, or reacts nicely to the wind. And then the firebush and wild coffee and lady of the night to provide some highlights throughout. The creeping jasmine, which is the only thing that isn't a native plant, is in here as a possible palette simply because it's one of the few plants that provides a really good dense ground cover. The lighting proposed would be underneath the bench seats, these curved rows of bench seats, and then uplighting on the trellis structures and strategically placed low bollards. So we're not proposing to have light poles everywhere. So the aesthetic is more of this indirect light. And this is a rendering of from within the park. So you get a sense of the switching of these curves providing kind of a layering as you move through the park. And then these structures overhead at 10 feet providing shade and shelter immediately. So we don't have to wait 20 years for trees to start providing shade to people having lunch. That's it. If you have any questions, please let us know. Oh, sorry. There's a couple more. There's a section. Thank you. This shows the extent of the green screen on the west wall, which is 25 feet high, and then it shows you just how large the right-hand wall is, and then the signage at the front facing 125th.
Sorry, can you go back to the
Yep.
first one? This one. So that's the west wall. So right now.
I don't know if
there's
your
an
microphone's on, Rasha.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hello? Hello? Okay, here we go. So that's the west wall, and right now there's an existing tenant, which is a bra shop. But the idea is once, the businesses start changing, and if they want, they can have a cafe in there. So they can pop in impact windows and impact doors through the garden, and it would be, surrounded by the plants that are on the wall, and they can use that as part of their sidewalk cafe as an enhancement to the business.
All right, Vice Mayor?
Yes, thank you. Couple questions. Looks beautiful. One, the mural. I mean, I love the mural, but are we going to do and like a request for art, make this in art in public places, or are we just going to do the mural as
No.
is?
That's good.
You wanna
Actually, I think
go
it's
into
two
that
parts.
since you
Can't you
have
want to?
information?
It's one. It's going to be panels, not fully a full mural. If you want to pull that up, and two, it is part of the call to artists that we will be doing, and we're working with Shauna at Mocha and Natasha on the process of a call to artists.
Okay, so
The interchangeable panels that can change with seasons. Yeah, these would be interchangeable panels that can change with seasons or semi-annually, however you want to do the duration.
okay. And another comment is the floor looks beautiful, but I just see people out there eating, and that white is gonna turn black. And it's gonna have spots, and you're gonna have gum, and you're gonna,
It is concrete, so it's very easy to pressure clean, and it does have, the salt creates it's the same finish as what they have at Soundscape Park, but it's just concrete with they throw the salt on it, and it marks the concrete with these holes. So it's kind of like having a kitchen counter that has a fleck through it, so you don't see the crumbs. Because it already has a pattern, and it's not a bright white constant pattern, spots don't really appear because they become part of the pattern, and that it can also be pressure washed with absolutely no detriment to the finish because it's concrete.
so when the gum gets pieces of gum and they turn into black dots, we're gonna be able to.
First of all, they'll look like all the other black dots, which is definitely an advantage.
And last question to Rosh, please, through the mayor. Do we have a price on that? Is it paid for, and where's our funding?
Well, our budget is, as you recall, we had, it was approved, we had $120,000 from the CRA. There are some funds from CDBG on the city side. This right now is the design phase, and I think, as I recall, we're gonna put it out to bid for the construction costs. And again, we're gonna negotiate it to make sure that it meets the requirements. And if there's any increase and so on, we'll bring it back to you.
Okay.
But right now, that's what was. Remember, these were all plans and priced out from the original downtown master plan. So we created the funding availability based on what they had already calculated.
Okay, thank you.
So
Looks really beautiful.
So this is just design, we don't need a
this
vote
is just a
tonight.
presentation.
Just
of the
a
design.
presentation, okay.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
No. Okay.
I
So
see
the rest
none.
is mine.
All right.
Okay.
City CRA attorney report? Nothing?
Nothing to report tonight, Mayor.
Executive director report?
Yes, thank you. On behalf of the executive director, I wanted to make a few announcements and updates. I had mentioned that the City of North Miami and the CRA, we are participating in the upcoming apparel textile sourcing trade show. It is May 21st to the 23rd at Mana Wynwood. The ribbon cutting of this event is May 21st at 10 o'clock. We will be sending out the formal invitations to mayor and council and announcing it to the public as soon as we get it from the organizers. There is a panel discussion about business opportunities and creating businesses right after the ribbon cutting, so it'll be around 11 o'clock, and the city manager and Councilman Desulme will be on the panel discussing the benefits and incentives of coming and opening up businesses within the city and primarily on Northwest 7th Avenue. And we also have a booth there. We will be there all the 3 days, and we will be promoting the CRA grant opportunities, the city's incentive programs, and so on. And I encourage the public and the mayor and council to attend if they can make it. There's a save the date for the next TOD meeting. It's May 24th at 6 o'clock. It will be also in the council chambers. As soon as we get to the time, we'll be able to, again, advertise it a little bit more and so on. And we had a first meeting April 19th. They are doing the work and the research that they need to get done. And this is the second meeting for them to start giving information to the public as to their findings and so on. And when the final report is done, and they will have another public meeting before they come and present it to the CRA board. And lastly, we have scheduled a business workshop, which is Thursday, May 17th at 6:30. But it's amazing. After we just started advertising, and we already had capacity. So I informed Councilman Desulme today that we're doing a wait list, and we'll do another follow-up business workshop at the first week of June for the other people that are coming. We created this one-on-one workshop to help businesses that are actually in the CRA in the city that have had difficulties in either applying or getting CRA grants. So we're going to help them from dealing with their SunBiz issues, their BTRs, their CUs, and preparing them so that they can either, resolve whatever issues or challenges they have that's keeping them from applying for grants, and then we'll help them with the process. So if it's as successful as I anticipate it to be, we'll probably try to do something quarterly and make it very comprehensive. That's about it for the executive director's report.
How about the meeting one, the May 25th, the kickoff event that you're having?
Well, no,
Hmm?
because I think there was an event or a conflict. It was,
It was never
Yes.
canceled.
I was told by your staff that there was a conflict. So it's scheduled for June. For the branding and marketing, the kickoff?
No, this is the first time I'm hearing that. I heard that we've been talking to people that it's gonna happen on May 25th.
I can follow up with the city manager and your staff, but I was told that you had,
Please follow up,
you already had
it was never
conflict.
canceled. It was discussed here on the dais. If it's gonna be canceled, it's gonna be canceled on the dais,
It
not
was-
elsewhere.
Okay.
No? It was announced here.
Well, I'll make sure I get with the manager and we'll find out what the issue is
Yeah.
and we'll take care of it.
By the way, for the record, Councilman Galvin, we bought downtownnomi.com, visitnomi.com, visitnorthmiami.com. So hopefully those web addresses will be sexy enough to be on our publications. But yes, we did acquire those. So that'll be our branding and marketing
Yeah.
for our website. Okay.
June happens to be a vacation month, so I would really encourage you to keep the May 25th.
We'll do our best.
No other comment or reports? Public comments? The floor is open for anyone who wishes to be heard from the public. I see no one, hear none.
Move to adjourn.
Meeting is now adjourned. Thank you very much. We'll be back at 7 p.m. for our regularly scheduled council meeting. Thank you. Huh?